Hello, my name is Jason Tavoularis, and I'm a Senior Offering Manager for IBM Cognos Analytics software. I regularly get asked the question, how does Cognos work with big data? And I know the type of situations that this question stems from. It could be the analytics team at an organization is currently reporting on the current quarter's worth of performance. And they know that the performance of their analytics is proportional to the volume of data they report on. So they may be under some pressure to start reporting on 5 years worth of data instead of just the current quarter. Or perhaps they're only reporting on one particular line of business, and now they're asked to provide analytics on hundreds of lines of businesses. So the assumption is that the volume of data will increase, and therefore processing time, which means user wait time, will also increase, and no one wants to wait for their analysis. So this brings us back to the question, how does Cognos work on large volumes of data, i.e. big data? And my response really hasn't changed much in the past several years. Cognos will exploit your data infrastructure for all it's worth. The primary data access strategy for IBM Cognos Analytics is to delegate data processing as much as possible to a data server. Therefore, the volume of data that you can use successfully and interactively in Cognos is bounded by your data server's capacity to respond to analytical queries within the threshold of your user's wait time tolerance. For most users, this will probably only be a few seconds that they'll stick around and wait for their answers as they're interacting and exploring their data. So if I need to break this down further, I'll expand that when connecting to a SQL interface of a data server, for example, Cognos software will generate SQL queries tailored to the type and version of the data server technology and optimize these queries to minimize user wait time. So usually only as many rows as there are values to be displayed within Cognos needs to be transferred from the data server to Cognos. So even if your data server is storing billions of rows, if a bar chart in a Cognos dashboard is only displaying 5 bars, there should only be 5 rows of data retrieved, since it's the data server computing all the aggregations, joins, calculations, etc. that result in the 5 values that need to be displayed inside that Cognos visualization. Now, of course, Cognos has contingency solutions. For example, dataset extracts if you only have slow or overloaded data servers at your disposal. But here we're talking big data, which means that you will need big data infrastructure if you want to enable interactive analytics on large volumes of data. Recently, some friendly folks at Varada, it's a big data accelerator technology, recently reached out to us to collaborate on validating that Varada can indeed deliver on its mission statement of enabling interactive analytics on large data volumes in conjunction with IBM Cognos Analytics. Since Varada is based on Presto, which Cognos already attenuates its SQL generation for, and Varada embraces the Cognos philosophy of maximizing SQL pushdown and in-database processing, there is nothing for us to do but to simply try out the two technologies together with billions of records, of course. So here what I'll show you is the result of this proof of concept. In short, it's an interactive dashboard operating on 2 billion of rows of data. So let's go ahead and check it out. I'll just scroll down in my Cognos environment and open up the dashboard. So in this scenario, it is simulated bit data, but we're simulating internet bot traffic and stemming from different web browsers and geographic regions throughout the US. We are actually pointing this dashboard live directly to over 2 billion records of data. You'll see that despite the large volume, the dashboard is still interactive. So if I make a selection point here, focusing the current view of data on traffic stemming from Chrome, you'll see that all the other widgets, including the metrics here on the left, update. I also have the option to drill down into these details, right? And of course, the visualizations respond accordingly. I can go then, I also whipped up a details tab in this dashboard if I want to analyze the details here with a tree map. If I want to focus in on the iPhone bot traffic stemming from Queens, that's once again, it's another drill down gesture. And you see the response time is pretty quick, despite there being many billions of rows here in the source of the data server. So I can further cross-examine different intersections of data points. Here, selecting the date filter here at the top. If I want to increase the range of data that I'm analyzing, I'll just update that. And you'll see that the dashboard will respond accordingly. You can also see here I can expand the number of cities that the bot traffic may be stemming from. So currently I'm examining only the boroughs around New York City. As a business user, I may have a need to, off the cuff, expand that to more cities throughout New York. So here I'll include Albany, and scrolling down, you can see there's a lot of cities here in the billions of rows. I've already selected Bronx and Brooklyn. Maybe I want to include Buffalo. And there you have it. You can see now Buffalo and Albany are included here at the section on the bottom. So there you have it, a interactive IBM Cognos Analytics dashboard serving up data over billions of records. And this is really powered by Varada. It's a big data accelerator technology. Let's turn it over to the team at Varada to explain some of the magic as to how Varada was able to serve up the result sets of these Cognos queries so quickly.